This heartbreaking story happened in Fayetteville, Georgia, August 20th, 2024. Stay tuned.
Fayette County Sheriff's investigators are currently in Louisiana interrogating a man accused of killing his wife at their Fayetteville home.
Investigators say they found his wife's body partially burned and buried in a shallow grave. Fox 5's Eric Mock joins us from the Fayette County Sheriff's Office with details about this gruesome crime.
Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Schneer and this is Talking Crime. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you over here. Hopefully these cases bring awareness to so many people. This story is about a young lady named Carrie Hardin, 39. Carrie Hardin was a loving mother, devoted wife. Carrie was 39 years old and a mother of two boys, one in elementary and one in middle school. Carrie had a passion for nursing. She was a nurse and she worked hard at what she did. Carrie had faith in the Lord and so did her husband, Kenneth Hardin Jr., 39 years old. Kenneth was also known as a pastor, Pastor Ken. Unfortunately, a brutal situation happened between the two that cost Carrie her life and unfortunately sending her husband Ken to jail.
We're not interested in a building, your tithes and your offerings, but we are interested in you seeing Jesus in us. Seeing him in such a way where it provokes you to change. Very recently on this corner, I preached from the subject, aren't you tired yet? You ought to be tired of seeing the community be in the way that it is. With a church on just about every corner, the homicide rate continues to rise and to rise. And still, for most of us, we do nothing. We have become immune to the killing, to the abuse, to our children who day by day lose their lives. But I declare unto you today that I believe that God has got something better.
Now, as we as humans know that relationships have its ups and downs. On the outside, everybody think things seem so perfect, right? And in the inside, it's chaos and conflict at times. Not all the time, but often. Well, this couple, what happened August 20th, 2024, would shock everybody that known and loved them. Kenneth would fly his father in, giving him his last will and testament as if he planned to not be here anymore. Him and his father had a heart-to-heart conversation, and Kenneth would confess the unthinkable. He killed his wife, Miss Hardin, aged 39 years old, and tried to burn her body and bury her under debris in their backyard. Unfortunately, it happened, but the father immediately took action by calling law enforcement to step in. Y'all, when I was reviewing this story, it was so sad and just tragic that this happened to this beautiful young lady that had so much going for herself, as well as this beautiful couple. Like, where did stuff turn for the worse? Unfortunately, law enforcement would come in and search the house, search the yard, and cadaver dogs would find her tragically buried in the backyard. You guys, the scene was brutal. And unfortunately, Mr. Ken fled the state. They found him in Covington, Louisiana in a motel. And he was planning to do a suicide by cop standoff. Thank God it didn't happen like that because, in my opinion, those type of situations have caused a lot of other people to lose their life. I don't know where things went sideways with this couple, especially it being a pastor and a nurse. And these people, a lot of times, often we tend to go to either we're sick or we just need spiritual healing. We reach out to these people and want to feel safe and protected or like we're going to be healed. And we hear stuff like this. Tragic.
Fayette County Sheriff Barry Babb says in his almost 40 years of law enforcement experience, this is one of the more grisly crimes he's had to work. But thanks to quick work and coordination with other agencies, they were able to catch this suspect, even though he'd fled all the way to Louisiana.
It's shocking as hell. Definitely seemed like something that would be on like on one of those shows. I didn't expect that.
Jabril Muhammad says he would have never expected his neighbor, 39-year-old Kenneth Hardin Jr., to be accused of something like this.
He seemed like a cool dude. Like I said, he had a fireworks show down here for the kids before the 4th of July.
Fayette County Sheriff Barry Babb says Hardin shot and killed his wife, 39-year-old Carrie Hardin, early Tuesday morning while his children slept.
So they went to school on Tuesday, never seen their mother.
The sheriff's office says it learned of the crime after Hardin flew his father into town and gave him his last will and testament.
He had told his father that he had shot his wife and pretty much that he was now going to be on the run.
Hardin's father called the sheriff's office, who began investigating. Babb says a license plate reader helped them track Hardin's car to a motel in Louisiana. A SWAT team there moved to take him into custody while they searched the large property for his wife's body.
I got almost basically two calls at the same time that the cadaver dog located our victim, which was buried in a very shallow grave on the back part of the property, and at the same time that the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office took him into custody without incident.
Sheriff Babb says the body was partially burned. He says Fayette County investigators got on the first flight to Louisiana Thursday morning, where they've apparently had no trouble interviewing Hardin.
He is completely cooperating to the point that I will tell you that Captain Lee, who has been an investigator at least 3 decades, said I've never had a homicide suspect want to tell us everything.
Sheriff Babb says so far the motive they've gathered from Hardin was a late-night domestic dispute mixed with heavy drinking. Well, Sheriff Babb is also just breathing a huge sigh of relief because investigators have learned that Hardin was, considering committing suicide by cop, and he was heavily armed. And of course, they're concerned after the recent shootings of law enforcement in both Paulding and Carroll County. But thankfully, Hardin chose not to go through with that. Reporting in Fayette County, Eric Mock, Fox 5 News.
Y'all, Carrie Hardin experienced something so tragic and devastating that cost her life. Her children remember seeing her the day before, but the day that they went to school, they don't remember seeing her at all. So this leaves a wound that will forever be open. They not only lost their mother, but they lost their father too, to something that could have been resolved. You guys, comment down below and tell me what you think about this story. In my opinion, I just think that it was trouble in the home that nobody really knew about. And even though that night that Kenneth say that it was heavy drinking, I feel like he probably was aggressive in the beginning anyway, or aggressive period throughout the relationship. Because how you just wake up one day and just kill your wife? I mean, he was a big influencer when it comes to the community, whether it was standing out on corners and ministering to people that really need it. I mean, you guys, this story is really sad. And you guys, hopefully these stories bring awareness to people, and that's why I do it. So don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to my channel. And have a blessed day and stay safe. Peace.